What's up, everybody? It's me, Bloody Bill Vaux. Except, I'm not at the commentary table this week, am I? No, I'm in the green room, here at the Fantasy Warfare Studios, because this week, here on the show, it's me against my 6 favorite professional wrestlers. These wrestlers influenced me in the ring, they influenced my look, they influenced how I talk, how I walk, how I punch, how I kick, how I scratch, how I claw. But tonight, these 6, they may be my favorites, but it's gonna play no role in how I treat them inside the ring. Scott Hall, Macho Man Randy Savage, Steve Austin, Roddy Piper, Bret Hart, The Undertaker, all 6 of you, you're in my crosshairs tonight. And the beautiful thing is, this is Fantasy Warfare, my friends. So I actually stand a chance in the world at beating these legends of the professional wrestling world, which is why I find myself just a little bit fired up here tonight. So without further ado, my friends, it's Friday. It's 6 p.m. You're right here at youtube.com/@BloodyBillVaux. And that's my music.
The following is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 228 pounds, Bill Vaux. And his opponent, representing the NWO from Miami, Florida, weighing in at 280 pounds, Scott Hall!
Well, I don't know what sort of time warp hell this is, but I am Bloody Bill Vaux calling the action on Bloody Bill Vaux versus Scott Hall in the first of 6 Bloody Bill Vaux matches here this week on Fantasy Warfare. I don't know what sort of time warp hell we're in. You said a viewer asked for this. I hope you're happy, viewer. We're going to watch Bloody Bill Vaux in the ring 6 different times here this week, including this opening contest against Scott Hall. Ow! Big time drop kick. Big time drop kick from the top by Bloody Bill on Scott Hall. What a way to kick things off. Bloody Bill Vaux against his 6 favorite professional wrestlers, the individuals he says helped shape him in and out of the ring. First up on the menu this week, as we can see on our screen, is Scott Hall. And Bloody Bill is taking the fight to Scott Hall right now in big-time fashion. Referee had just reached the count of 6 as Scott Hall was thrown back into the ring, and Bloody Bill follows him, so this match will continue in the ring as Scott Hall hits a nice bulldog on Bloody Bill. But Bloody Bill fighting back right away. He's not wasting any time, not giving Scott Hall any chance for an advantage in this one. Very smart by Bloody Bill Vaux. We got a cover attempt by Bloody Bill. Referee only gets to the count of 2 on that one. And this match continues. That could be a mistake on Vox's part there, taking a moment to play to the audience here. You never want to give a veteran like Scott Hall any time to breathe, because he can make you pay for that in a moment's notice. Thus far, the moments at vanity have not come back to bite Vaux in his tailpipe, if you will, as he continues this offensive domination of Scott Hall, looking to start things off with a victory this week in his fantasy warfare journey. 6 matches. You're going to wonder what his win-loss record is going to be at the end of this. One would assume, in reality, it would for sure be 0 for 6. Like, there's no way Bloody Bill Vaux is beating Scott Hall, Randy Savage, Roddy Piper, Steve Austin, Bret Hart, or The Undertaker. They're all going to wipe the floor with him. I know he likes to think he's a tough guy, but, you know, I think he was only tough when he had his tag team partner, Rob Marsh, around. Otherwise, he was, well, pardon my language, but he was a bit of a chicken shit. He only seemed to have the brass balls, if you will, when his tag team partner, the ultra-violent assassin, Rob Marsh, was standing around. Without Rob Marsh by his side, like I said, I won't draw off the profanity more than once, but you get the idea. But it will be interesting to see how things turn out here in Fantasy Warfare for Vaux as he goes up against his 6 favorite professional wrestlers. And in this week's dark match coming up on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here at youtube.com/@BloodyBillVaux, the dark match saw, well, Bloody Bill Vaux step into the ring with the man that helped catch his attention for the Intercontinental Championship back in 1990, Mr. Perfect. Scott Hall went for the cover after countering what would have been a Razor's Edge, Outsider's Edge attempt by Bloody Bill Vaux. The Razor's Edge, one of Vox's finishing holds, inspired by Razor Ramon, a.k.a. Scott Hall. Bloody Bill Vaux also likes to utilize, as we're about to see, the sharpshooter inspired by Bret the Hitman Hart, who Vaux will have a match with later on tonight under submission rules. Sharpshooter versus sharpshooter in that one. Nice back elbow by Scott Hall sends Vaux back out to the center of the ring, but Vaux grabs it all. Oh, gnarly suplex by Bloody Bill as he continues the offensive assault on Scott Hall. This has been a bit of a one-sided contest. Scott Hall has had some attempts at offense. He has landed a few blows, but ultimately, there he goes, moves out of the way of that one and kicks Bloody Bill right in his head. As I say, up until this point, he's only had a couple of offensive flurries, but other than that, Bloody Bill has been dominating this opening contest this week here in Fantasy Warfare. But Scott Hall is able to get just only a near fall, but he stays on top of Bloody Bill, continuing the offensive surge, I guess we could call it, because he's been on the defense for quite a while in this one. And Scott Hall took a moment to gloat, and it came back to bite him, as Bill came running in with the shoulder block and then an overhead suplex, followed up with a kick to the spine, down into the cover. And we only get 2 on that one. Bloody Bill arguing with special referee John Cena because you can't see him. Headbutt by Scott Hall drops Bloody Bill to the mat. Scott Hall looking to, oh, here we go. He's looking for the Razor's Edge, the Outsider's Edge. I guess we'd call it the Outsider's Edge for this one. Down goes Bloody Bill. This could be all for him. Referee Cena into the count, and we only get 2 on that one. Bloody Bill trying to roll out to the floor to catch a moment, but Scott Hall says, no way, no how, sir. I'm following you. Oof. A shot dropping Bloody Bill to the mat on the outside of the ring. Scott Hall sent it to the ring post by Bloody Bill. as the referee starts increasing on the count. We're out a count of 4. Standard rules do apply in this one, so we did see our first count out last week as Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was able to defeat AJ Styles via count out. And we will not see a count out there, but we talked about it a number of times. I always wondered when we would see our first count out or our first disqualification for a method of victory here in Fantasy Warfare. We went all of Season 1 without it, and we made it into Season 2, Episode 4. 22 episodes. Not bad. Not bad at all. 22 episodes before we had a count out. We still haven't had a DQ. Maybe we'll get that tonight. Bill with the, looks like a claw on Scott Hall, then raked at the eyes. He might have just had a face hug. Not quite sure. We didn't really have a good camera angle on that one. We didn't have a good camera angle for that, and for the follow-up. Nice forearm, and then a series of fists right to the side of the skull, and a pinfall attempt by Bloody Bill on Scott Hall, but Scott Hall able to kick out. Brain buster. Brain buster. Scott Hall catching a kick to the spine. We get a cover in the center of the ring. And Scott Hall once again able to kick out here in this opening contest this week in Fantasy Warfare. Power slam counter by Bloody Bill, again taking the moments to gloat. I'm not sure I personally would do that, but I'm sitting up here in this commentary booth and wondering still what sort of time warp hell I have stumbled into where I am calling matches. I am Bloody Bill Vaux, but that is Bloody Bill Vaux, and Bloody Bill Vaux gets the victory off of a lariat clothesline. Takes Scott Hall down. Well, this is how we know it's Fantasy Warfare, because Bloody Bill Vaux on the scoreboard is up 1-0 on his opponents here this week. But we still have 5 more matches to go, including coming up next. It will be a steel cage match between Bloody Bill Vaux and the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
The following is a steel cage match. Making his way to the ring from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 228 pounds, Bill Vaux.
Welcome back down to ringside, everybody. The cage is lowering. We got a steel cage match this week and a Hell in a Cell match this week. I don't know what sort of fresh hell Bloody Bill was trying to sign up for, but sure, why not? What the hell? Macho Man Randy Savage starting this one off strong, choking away at Bloody Bill in the corner. Pinfall or submission are the methods of victory in this one. No escape in the classic blue. Savage into the cover, only gets a 1 count. Very early for a pinfall, but a savvy veteran like the Macho Man Randy Savage knows you don't get paid by the hour. You just get paid by whether you win or lose. And he wants that winner's purse here this week in Fantasy Warfare. There he goes, ready to do another cover. Very smart by the Macho Man, letting Bloody Bill know that he is out for the victory and he is out to do it in a quick fashion. Break to the face by the Macho Man. He is relentless thus far here in the opening moments of this cage match this week on Fantasy Warfare. Big time mistake by Vaux. He had the Macho Man down and he took the moment to gloat instead. That allowed Savage back up to his feet, and I'd call him very lucky that he was just able to hit that nice standing lariat on the Macho Man. So very lucky that he was able to hit that. Savage countering out into a cover. He hit that jawbreaker, followed up with a 1 count. Again, continuing to let Vaux know that he is out for the victory here this week in this cage match. And he is wasting no time looking to get it done here in Fantasy Warfare. He wants to even up the scoreboard for the favorites. Vaux is up 1-0 with his victory moments ago over Scott Hall. He's back in the ring, having yet another matchup. Here, it's a steel cage match with the Macho Man Randy Savage. Can he go to 2-0 here this week, or will Randy Savage even it up at 1-1? Gut-wrench suplex by the Macho Man, followed up into a pinfall attempt. Again, only a 1 count. Savage continuing with those pin attempts. He's only getting 1 counts for the most part, but it is at least, as I said, sending that message to Bloody Bill that Randy Savage is not here to play around. Beautiful package pile driver by Bloody Bill on the Macho Man. No pinfall attempt there. He's gonna go for the razor's edge. He's got him up. Could it be the end for the Macho Man? Down he goes with the razor's edge into a cover. We get a count of 2. And that's all we get is a count of 2. I really don't think I would be taking those moments to gloat. You're in there with some of the legends of professional wrestling. Not the time to gloat. These are somebodies in the world of wrestling. You were barely a nobody, Bloody Bill. I don't think I'd be taking time to gloat, especially if I'm in the ring with the Macho Man Randy Savage. Not unless I know that he is dead. Savage in the opposite corner, waiting for Vaux to get up. Big time running knee. Stomping away in the corner now. That choke 100% legal in this one, as the Macho Man Randy Savage taking firm advantage of the fact that this is no DQ situation. Flying elbow drop by the Macho Man. This could be all for Bloody Bill. Referee with the count of 2. And to my surprise, Bloody Bill Vaux able to kick out of the flying elbow drop from the Macho Man. Kip up, nip up, whatever you want to call it. Nice clothesline. That's what won him the last match. Attempting to kick the skull into the Macho Man. Only gets a 1 count. What an animal the Macho Man is. He just got kicked in the head like 6 times. Kicks out of the count of 1. Follows up with a vertical suplex. That's why that man calls himself the Macho Man. There was a prime example of it right there. Taking 6 kicks to the skull and following it up with a damn suplex. Like my word. Savage stomping at the face of Bloody Bill Vaux. He's got him down. Tried for a running knee to the side of the head, but Bloody Bill moves out of the way. Hits that standing lariat a second time in this contest. Again, taking a moment to gloat. I just don't think I would have done that. He caught an elbow to the head, and now a pile driver from the Macho Man Randy Savage, who is heading up to the top rope, spinning himself around, setting himself up. Down he goes. It's the big-time elbow drop on Bloody Bill Vaux. And that's all she wrote, my friends. The Macho Man Randy Savage evens up the scorecard at one apiece. Bloody Bill Vaux with a victory over Scott Hall, but Macho Man Randy Savage with a victory over Bloody Bill Vaux inside the steel cage. We still have four more matches to go this week. And coming up next, Bloody Bill Vaux will step into the ring with yet another one of his favorites, Roddy Piper.
The following contest is a no-holds-barred match. Making his way to the ring from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 228 pounds, Bill Vaux.
Welcome back down the ringside, everybody, for some more Fantasy Warfare in this crazy, crazy time warp known as Fantasy Warfare, where I, Bloody Bill Vaux, am calling the matches of Bloody Bill Vaux going up against his favorites that influenced him in becoming a independent pro wrestler in his younger years. Did I take acid before this show? Is that what this is? Am I just on some crazy acid trip right now? I really don't know. But anyway, let's keep calling the action. Instead of wondering what we've stumbled into, let's know what is in front of us, and that is Roddy Piper going one-on-one with Bloody Bill Vaux. It is a no-holds-barred match, so that means anything goes, but the final fall must occur inside the ring. Belly-to-belly suplex by Roddy Piper on the floor. Roddy Piper, Why would I call him Rowdy Piper? It's Roddy Piper. Roderick Piper. Roddy Piper. As a kid, I'll admit, I used to think it was Roddy Piper. Like Roddy twice. I was like, all right, whatever, Roddy Piper. That's cool. Roddy Piper. Anyway, back to call the action again. We've had 2 tangents already in this match. That's what happens when you're in a wild time warp. I understand we'll be back to regular programming of legends against legends, legends against current against current next week. That'll be Friday, May 13th. New calendar buffs out there as Bloody Bill comes leaping down with a chop to the top of the skull of Roddy Piper. Only gets the 2 count on that one. He's got Piper on the ropes. Sends him off with the Irish whip. Nice snap German into a pinfall attempt. And we only get 1 on that one. But it was still a beautiful German attempt. Bloody Bill under the ring. What's he got there? A hockey stick. He's got a hockey stick. Well, a little known fact about Bloody Bill Vaux is that he wanted to play hockey as a youth. But unfortunately for him, the costs and the time consumptions were a little more than he was willing to put in at 13 years old, so it never happened. But it's kind of funny that there's a hockey stick under the ring. Bloody Bill Vaux was known to be a bit of a street hockey connoisseur. And that's what brought him to wanting to try out actual hockey on skates. But again, it never happened. So little known fact there, Bloody Bill Vaux once wanted to play hockey, but time and finances were a limitation, and it never happened. Irish whip sends Bloody Bill into the corner. Piper's got him. Nice bulldog out of the corner by Roddy Piper. Down into the cover on Bloody Bill Vaux. And a 2 count is all we get on that one. As Bloody Bill is able to kick out before the count of 3. Grabs Piper into a pinning combination. Piper able to kick out before the count of 3. Bloody Bill almost pulling ahead. 2-1 over his favorites. It's 1-1 so far. He was able to beat Scott Hall in the open, but not Randy Savage in that cage match just a few moments ago. Oh, nasty hockey stick attack by Bloody Bill Vaux on Roddy Piper. Vaux hit him 3 different times into a cover. Will that lead to a 3 count? No, it won't. No, it will not. You gotta love when they answer the question as you're still asking it. Nice flying drop kick by Bloody Bill out of the corner. High risk attempt, and it paid off. 2 clotheslines by Bloody Bill. Sweeps the leg of Roddy Piper, and Vaux is fired up here in this one. Down into the cover on Roddy Piper. And a 2 count is again all we're able to get. Kick to the face by Bloody Bill Vaux. The running big boot, the OG boot as Chad Epic would call it. And we only got 2 on it. Bloody Bill waiting on Roddy Piper to get up to his feet. What's he going to go for here? Nothing, because he gets countered with a series of kicks to his thigh. That could leave a bruise. Piper's got the sleeper hold on Bloody Bill Vaux. Could this be all for him? Will he be able to fight it? And no, he will not. He takes the big nap on this one. And Roddy Piper pulls ahead for the favorites 2-1. As Bloody Bill Vaux suffers his 2nd defeat in a row. Let's call it a losing streak here in Fantasy Warfare as Piper defeats Vaux 2-1 here between Vaux and his favorites. If he suffers 2 more losses, there's no way he can pull ahead. Best he can hope for is a tie if he doesn't start winning here. Coming up next, it's going to be a Falls Count Anywhere match between Bloody Bill Vaux. That's right, he's coming back out here, friends, even though he's down on the mat. Coming out next against Stone Cold Steve Austin.
The following is a Falls Count Anywhere match. Making his way to the ring from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 228 pounds, Bill Vaux. Texas, weighing in at 252 pounds, Stone Cold Steve Austin!
Welcome back, everybody, for the fourth match of this week here at Fantasy Warfare. Bloody Bill Vaux calling the action of Bloody Bill Vaux as he goes into action. Falls Count Anywhere style with Stone Cold Steve Austin here this week for Fantasy Warfare. Vaux is trailing 2-1 so far to his favorites, picking up the victory in the opening contest this week against Scott Hall, but then suffering back-to-back losses to the Macho Man Randy Savage and Roddy Piper in our last two contests. If he suffers another loss here to Stone Cold Steve Austin, the best he can hope for is a tie with his favorites in the overall scorecard this week. At least for the main show anyway. The dark match on Monday at 6 p.m. here at youtube.com/@BloodyBillVaux with Mr. Perfect could serve as a tiebreaker on whether or not Vaux is able to call it a win over his favorites in full, or whether Mr. Perfect gets to say that the favorites showed why they're the favorites in the legend. Scoop slam on the floor by Bloody Bill Vaux on Stone Cold Steve Austin. That could not have felt good on the spine. But Steve Austin looking to rebound? Nope, nothing there. Vaux into a cover on the floor. It is Falls Count Anywhere in this one. Oh, right into the ring steps goes Bloody Bill Vaux as Steve Austin grabs the ring steps from the other side of the ring. Vaux able to counter before Austin was able to do any real damage with those steps. Sends Vaux into the ring apron. Still to come this week, two more matches. We got a submission match coming up next after the conclusion of this Falls Count Anywhere match. Sharpshooter versus sharpshooter. Bloody Bill back in the ring against Bret the Hitman Hart. in the overall listing of his favorites, Bret the Hitman Hart and the Undertaker, our last two matches of the week, are the two favorites. Austin with just a flurry of beating the living hell out of Bloody Bill Vaux at ringside. He is in firm control at this moment over Bloody Bill. But Bill is on the move again. He's on the move again, folks. He's going after Austin, looking to get back in the driver's seat, but Austin says, no way, no how, not right now, sir. Nothing for you. As Stone Cold Steve Austin continues the offense and throws Bloody Bill Vaux into the guardrail at ringside. Gotta tell you, as his head gets bounced off the canvas there, or off the mats on the outside of the ring, I'd say a tie with his favorites is not looking like a strong possibility here. Taking that moment to gloat, that is such a big-time mistake. And there it is. It finally bites him here this week. He had a chance to get back in the driver's seat over Stone Cold Steve Austin, but it was not to be, as Austin quickly countered into a 2 count. But Bloody Bill should be in the driver's seat right now, but he made what I guess we could call a rookie error by gloating for the audience. He's got the pinning attempt on Austin on the floor, only got the 1 count. Austin stomping the mud hole, walking it dry on Bloody Bill on the floor. What do we got here? Oh, power bomb on the floor by Bloody Bill Vaux on Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin sends Bill back into the ring, sends him right into those ring steps. Bill basically moved those things out of the way. Nice knee lift by Steve Austin, bringing Bill Vaux back up to his feet. Body shots by the Texas Rattlesnake, the Bionic Redneck. Got the stairs up. Bloody Bill's on the ring ropes, and no, nothing. Austin made a big-time miscalculation there. I don't know what happened, if you started thinking about the post-match meal or something. But he had Bloody Bill on the ropes. Could have gone and bashed his skull in with those steel steps, but he chose not to for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. But at the end of the day, Bloody Bill's still in this match when ultimately his brain pieces could be on the floor right now. Austin talking all that trash to Bloody Bill, throwing him out to the center of the ring. He's stalking on him. Boom! Stone Cold Stunner. This could be all for Bloody Bill. And it is. Referee with a count of 3 as Stone Cold Steve Austin picks up the victory. And well, if he doesn't win the next 2 matches, it's a losing affair here in the main show for Bloody Bill Vaux, as he is now trailing his favorites 3-1 here this week in Fantasy Warfare. But his opportunities for victory are not through yet, as coming up next, it will be a submission match. Sharpshooter versus Sharpshooter. It will be Bret the Hitman Hart stepping into the ring with a man who idolizes him. You've seen him in action 4 times already this week. How about a 5th? It's Bloody Bill Vaux coming up next here this week on Fantasy Warfare.
The following contest is a submission match. Making his way to the ring from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 228 pounds, Bill Vaux.
Welcome on back. Fantasy Warfare Match 5. Submission rules between Bret the Hitman Hart and Bloody Bill Vaux. It'll be a battle of the sharpshooter in this one. Both men utilizing it as their submission. Bloody Bill Vaux idolizing Bret the Hitman Hart as a child. In fact, there have been long tales that he used to kind of walk around with fistfuls of Hasbro WWF action figures, and among them was Bret the Hitman Hart. Unconfirmed that he walked around with fistfuls of wrestlers to the point that it pissed off people because he always had his wrestlers with him. Wonder if these folks would be like, oh, total surprise that he became a wrestler. Total surprise. Bill Vaux, as we were saying, inspired by Bret Hart with the sharpshooter. Also a flying forearm out of the corner inspired by Bret the Hitman Hart in the offensive arsenal of Bloody Bill Vaux. But right now, Bret Hart is showing Bloody Bill why he is known as the excellence of execution. Firm control over Bloody Bill at this moment. Double arm suplex a second time. Takes Bloody Bill down on the mats. This is a submission match, so it is technically anything goes, but it is not. Submissions count anywhere. So the final submission must occur inside the ring. These guys can technically brawl wherever they want. They can grab weapons. They can gouge. They can scratch. They can bite. Everything the referee might normally say, hey, 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 don't do that, is legal. We just have to have that tap, 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 or I quit in the ring. That was a smart move by Bret Hart, though, with the figure 4. It's not his go-to submission, but it weakens the legs. And Bloody Bill was limping when he got back up to his feet. He might be back in the driver's seat at the moment, but we are not doctors. We don't have an MRI machine at ringside, so we don't know if Bret Hart may have just done some damage to the knee of Bloody Bill Vaux. That surgically repaired knee. Back in 2012, total reconstruction surgery on the ACL after a jump gone wrong in a 6-man tag team match. And Bret Hart may have known that. He may have asked around, hey, what's the deal with this kid? I don't know this kid. He just, he likes me. He uses my moves. I want to make him tap out to it. Anything I should know about it? Maybe somebody, said something here or there. Vaux bringing Bret back up to his feet. Charges him with the big boot. Fists of Fury in the center of the ring, assaulting Bret the Hitman Hart. And now he's going for the sharpshooter. Could this be what puts away Bret? Vaux has got his own sharpshooter locked in. He's got him locked, and he's got it locked deep here. But Bret Hart able to roll through, and he kicks Vaux back up off the mat, off of him onto the mat. But Bloody Bill countering one more time, this time with a lariat. Bret Hart rolling out to the floor to take a breather. Kick to the bridge of the nose by Bloody Bill, as he didn't give Bret much time, but Bret says, fine. Got you with this flying crossbody, and then a crucifix on the floor. Bret Hart drove that knee into Bloody Bill Vaux, and I believe he is busted open from that one. What a appropriate thing to have happen to a guy named Bloody Bill Vaux. What are we going to have here? Oh my goodness, power bomb, spine first onto the apron. I can't believe that. That was disgusting. Bret Hart should have an easy path to a submission if he just works over the back a little bit more. After power bombing that poor spine of Bloody Bill Vaux onto the steel guardrail. But Vaux is still on his feet. He is not relenting and looking to beat one of his heroes here this week in Fantasy Warfare. Bret Hart trying to drag Bloody Bill out to the center. And now he is going to go for the sharpshooter. Vaux couldn't put Hart away earlier with the sharpshooter. Could it be the reverse fortunes here? Will Bloody Bill Vaux tap out, or will Bret the Hitman Hart be able... Wait, we botched it. We're live, though. It doesn't matter. Can Bret make Bloody Bill tap out, or will Bloody Bill be able to break free from the sharpshooter? That's the question we should have asked. As I was asking, I'm like, wait a minute. We're asking this 2 questions of one man. He's either going to make somebody tap out or he's not. Oh, nice electric chair drop into a German suplex. Hey, we botch our lines. We leave him in. Screw it. What the hell? One take Tony over here. Bret Hart with an abdominal stretch, but he tried to turn it into, I believe, a pump handle slam, and he got countered by Bloody Bill Vaux. Nice forearm shot, drops the excellence of execution. Bloody Bill now dragging the Hitman out to the center of the ring. Hart trying to get up to his feet, and he does. Kick to the face yet again. Bill has the legs. He's got them hooked. Sharpshooter's second attempt. Can he make the Hitman tap out this time? Yes, he does. I don't believe it. Bloody Bill Vaux able to get his second victory of the night after 3 straight losses to the Macho Man, Roddy Piper, and Steve Austin. He's able to get a victory over Bret the Hitman Hart. So the scoreboard now is Bloody Bill 2, the favorites 3, and our main event is still to come. Coming up next, Inside Hell in a Cell. It will be Bloody Bill Vaux on one side, going up against the other man he has idolized since childhood, the Phenom himself, The Undertaker.
The following contest is a Hell in a Cell match. Making his way to the ring from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 228 pounds, Bill Vaux. And his opponent from Death Valley, weighing in at 309 pounds, The Undertaker!
Here we go, everybody. It's main event time inside Hell in a Cell. Bloody Bill Vaux against The Undertaker. If you have watched any of Bloody Bill Vaux's broadcasts over the years on twitch.tv/Bloody Bill Vaux, no @ symbol there, twitch.tv/Bloody Bill Vaux. If you've watched any of his broadcasts over the years, you might have heard the story of how Vaux became a fan of The Undertaker. It started in a nightmare. He was 5 years old. The Undertaker infiltrated a dream of Bloody Bill Vaux, followed him around the grocery store, and then rose up in his window like the supernatural being that he is. And it was at that moment, at 5 years old, that Bloody Bill Vaux said, maybe if I'm a fan of The Undertaker, he won't come and scare me in my nightmares anymore. And from that day forward, Bloody Bill Vaux never had another Undertaker nightmare. And that's where the fandom was born, as Bloody Bill Vaux just got pitched at the cage wall here in Hell in a Cell. It's our main event this week here in Fantasy Warfare. The man himself, The Undertaker, going one-on-one. Oh, got him right into the cage wall. Anything goes here. They can fight in the ring, out of the ring, outside the cell, on top of the cell. It doesn't friggin' matter what they do or where they do it. The final fall must occur inside the ring here this week to achieve victory in our main event of Fantasy Warfare here this week. Collar and elbow sends The Undertaker into the ring steps. These two guys are just brawling it out on the floor. They're not even taking the action in the ring right now. They're throwing punches. They're throwing each other at the cage wall, at the ring steps. They're just causing damage to each other right now. It's not flashy. It's not pretty, but it's getting the job done. Undertaker catches that boot attempt, but he got caught as well. Taker into the ring steps again by Bloody Bill Vaux. Locking up on the floor. Nice European uppercut sends The Undertaker across the ringside area. And then Vaux throws The Undertaker down by the other side of the ring. Taker now with those big fists, sending Bloody Bill Vaux back, creating some distance. And now Vaux sent into those ring steps as well, as these two guys are just circling the outside of the ring on this one. Taker throwing Vaux down on the floor. This is our main event this week here in Fantasy Warfare. We return to normal programming next week, where it's not a vanity project, but, a viewer asked for this, so we'd like to listen to the viewers here. And, a little vanity time warp project, what the hell, why not? We're going to have one of them. It took 22 episodes before we had a vanity project, where it's all about Bloody Bill Vaux. Well, right now, The Undertaker's making it all about Bloody Bill Vaux as he just bashed his skull off the Hell in a Cell wall, sending him right down into the ring steps. I think he hit the floor before he was able to send him into those steel ring steps, as The Undertaker just keeps whipping Bloody Bill Vaux back and forth, back and forth. Taker in firm control of Bloody Bill Vaux right now. These two guys are just intent on not going in the ring. I feel like we should just not expect any sort of in-ring action in this one. Almost sounds like the crowd is turning on this a little bit. And maybe they just don't like Bloody Bill Vaux. Oh, into the cage wall goes The Undertaker again. Taker continuing to try and fight out. Well, I mean, we do have to... We'd have to go back into the ring at some point in time because there must be a final fall in the ring. We cannot have the final fall on the floor, outside the cage, on the cage roof. They changed that rule years ago because we have seen at least one Hell in a Cell that I can recall end on top of the cell. I mean, honestly, I say let them pin and submit wherever they want to. If they want to... If you want to let them fight outside the cell, you might as well just, have the cell there just to look pretty. Because if it's not going to contain the combatants, you might as well just let them fight everywhere. Screw it. Why not? Taker with a jawbreaker on Bloody Bill Vaux as these two just continuing to brawl in what might be one of the ugliest Hell in a Cell matches we have seen here in Fantasy Warfare, but the punishment on each other's bodies has been great. These two continuing to brutalize each other all throughout the matchup here. There may be no flashy jumps, there may be no flashy power bombs, suplexes, choke slams, anything like that so far in this contest, but let me tell you, these two men have brought the violence in terms of their fists and their feet, beating the living hell out of each other here this week in our main event here in Fantasy Warfare. And Bloody Bill Vaux is sent into the ring. My goodness. Could the action be still? It is. The action is actually in the ring, folks. Sweeps the leg. Bloody Bill is fired up. I don't know if he's fired up about the offense or if he's fired up about being back in the ring. Undertaker kicks out at the count of 2 on that one. I can't believe these guys are in the ring. It's crazy. Package pile driver by Bloody Bill Vaux on the Undertaker. Into the cover. And the Undertaker kicks out of the count of 2. Taker sits up, and Vaux is there with a series of punches and rakes, making the Undertaker's life hell. Bringing the Undertaker up to his feet, setting him up. Could it be the outsider's edge? He's got him up in the air for it. Can he hit it? Down he goes, he hits it. Into the cover on the Undertaker. And that's it. Bloody Bill Vaux has just defeated The Undertaker. Say it with me again. Bloody Bill Vaux has just beat The Undertaker. And he ends the night 3-3 with his favorites. Victories over Scott Hall, Bret the Hitman Hart, and The Undertaker. Of course, the losses to Randy Savage, Roddy Piper, and Steve Austin. What a matchup. What a victory. And well, what a freaking upset. What a week this week here on Fantasy Warfare. What a weird time warp it's been, though.
I bet you thought I was all licked, didn't you? Whew. I bet you thought I was licked, huh? Yeah, I was getting beat up pretty good there, huh? Oh, but I beat the Undertaker. I beat the Undertaker. I beat the Undertaker in fantasy warfare. Why does my body hurt, though? Ow. Ow. Well, that wraps things up this week, my friends. I beat the Undertaker. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go celebrate. Probably call a doctor.